Hello, everybody, and welcome to the I Told You podcast. I am J. Marcelo Vaquero Alvarez, and I am the person who's going to be telling you things as they are. I'm not going to sugarcoat it because nobody seems to be doing that. So this podcast is not for snowflakes, and you will get offended. But the truth is that facts don't care about your feelings. I care about the truth, and I'm going to be telling you what nobody else seems to be telling you. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about setting safeguards before 2025 in January once Trump takes office. And if you forget everything that we're going to be talking about today, just remember this. Authoritarians are only as powerful as their followers. Alright, like it or not, nobody's coming to save us. Not the White House, not the military, not the mainstream media, not the independent media. As far as you're concerned, I am the only friend that you have who is actually going to be telling you things as they are without actually being worried about monetization or getting anything for whatever it is that I'm doing. The truth is that I didn't even want to do this podcast, but I've been reaching to pretty much everybody else that I just mentioned to, and I have gotten crickets, and they just keep talking into a corner, and they just keep talking themselves in circles, and it's really not going anywhere. So somebody had to do something about it, so it might as well be me. I keep hearing a whole bunch of people talking about the resistance, but none of them are actually giving you solutions. Okay, they're reporting some other crazy shit that Trump has done and some crazy shit that his acolytes are doing. Yeah, that was expected. What the fuck did you expect that it was going to happen when you selected a person who was actually telling you that he was going to be doing whatever the fuck he wanted? Not just in this administration, but when he was in the previous administration. Do you remember when Trump was saying, hey, I have Article 2 and it allows me to do whatever the hell I want, whatever the hell I want, with that screamy voice that he had. Yeah, and a lot of people say, oh yeah, that's my president, yeah, I don't mind about the mean tweets. Well, it is a lot worse than the mean tweets. The mean tweets were just part about the character for the person who's going to be holding the fucking biggest office in the land. I'm going to be cursing all I want, but I am not fucking running for president. Now am I? So they were all talking circles, and that is true for the mainstream media. That I told you in the very first episode that they are really out for the money, because if they don't have eyeballs on their network, then they're just going to be losing money. And for the independent media, they also have to mind their P's and Q's, because if they say something that starts pissing off the people, even if they do care about the content, they're still going to be losing the lifeline that they have to survive. So even with good intentions, the problem is that it's hard to ask a question that you didn't know what to ask for, or that you didn't know that you were supposed to ask. And that's why I'm doing this, so I can tell you what you need to start thinking. So what can we do to save safeguards here before the next Trump administration starts? So the first thing is that if you already realize that you fucked up with your vote, which is probably a minority of the voters, when you start telling what actually had happened, there's a lot of people who are still going to be delusional about that. And we're going to be talking later on a little bit about how that cognitive dissonance is going to continue, because it's nothing new. It's new to the USA, but it's nothing new to the rest of the fucking planet. But a lot of the people who actually voted for Trump, they don't really give a shit about the rest of the planet, nor they would be able to point in a map or in a blank map other countries, or maybe even a labeled map. They wouldn't be able to find the flashpoint areas in the planet. So that's why they would not be able to understand some of the tricks that have been used throughout history. But I have, and I have been writing about that for a very long time. So what you need to be doing is start questioning Trump, just like you were questioning Biden or any of those Rinos or any of those liberals or anybody who was apparently on the other side of your aisle. That's what you need to do. Start questioning them. You were very assertive whenever you saw something that Biden was doing that was out of whack. Okay, do the fucking same thing. That's what you need to be doing. You need to actually make your voice heard. But yeah, understand that is also going to imply that you did fuck up. So own up to your mistake and put your big boy or big girl pants and go out and express, okay, this is not what I thought I was getting into. But remember, elections have consequences. That's why whatever you're fucking saying right now, okay, you can say it while you still can, but you were supposed to fucking have this realization before You casted the vote. But anyways, ask why he is surrounding himself with the same loyalists that they were in his rallies and all the other fucking places in that small bubble. The same faces that you are seeing right now for his cabinet should be very familiar to you. He was surrounding himself with whoever would be smooching his ass. That's what was going on for fucking years. Matt Gaetz, the guy that is the Fox News host that is now going to be nominated or potentially hold the seat of the Secretary of Defense, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, all these guys. Yeah, they've been in his bubble for a while. So if you didn't fucking realize that he was not going to put them in a certain position, then you're fucking naive. Why do you think he's not actually choosing people who have experience? Because he wants to have people who, first off, are going to be yes men and yes women. And second, because he takes loyalty as his metric to running his businesses. Now, let me tell you this again. Loyalty is not towards a person in government. It's towards the Constitution of the United States of America. That means that the government has 3 branches, one of which has 2 chambers. Congress, you have the House and the Senate. And these guys are supposed to speak truth to power. Speak truth to power. They are supposed not to just become a rubber stamp for whatever one power wants to do. Of course, the entire government is going to be MAGA now. So, if Trump wants to do something, they're just going to rubber stamp it. Being that good or bad? Yeah, there's some senators right now that they are saying, quote, if Trump says to jump and tap your head, that's exactly what you're going to do. Not questioning him at all. Then why the fuck are we even getting these people in office if they're not going to put some safeguards? So yeah, they're not going to fucking save you. So yeah, when you get surrounded by yes men and yes women, you are going to fuck up eventually. It happened to every authoritarian in history. The circle of trust becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That's what they say. It's lonely in the top. Yeah, it's because everybody else who they're saying something that made sense was executed or was kicked out or worse from whatever this little circle of influence. And then the authoritarian in the end just gets into this very, very small corner and gets really paranoid, and everybody else paranoid not to say something that is going to get this man, because usually a man, very excitable about people being disagreeing with him. That happened to Stalin, for example. He fucking died because nobody would be daring to even check on him when he was essentially fucking collapsing out of bad health. Because he had also a really bad lifestyle, and what's going to happen to Trump? It's not like Melania lives with him, so who the fuck is going to be checking on him? Yeah. But anyways, would you understand then that these appointments are not good for the USA? They are good for other adversarial regimes. And when we're talking about adversarial regimes, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the regimes, who is actually running the country. For example, if we get into a Trump regime, that doesn't mean that the entire USA is MAGA. Yeah, the majority apparently seem to be, because they didn't fucking understand what they're voting for, and now they're complaining about that all over fucking TikTok and all over fucking social media and in pretty much any other place. Oh, I didn't think that Trump was going to do that. Yeah, motherfucker, we told you about this. But these are adversarial regimes that say that they would be very, 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 very happy to fucking blow up the USA if we don't go along with their fucking desires, which some of those desires are essentially to invade another country. So yeah, now you fucking understand. You voted for an adversarial regime's policy. That's what you did. Now, the fact is that, would you tolerate if Biden would have been doing the same shit that Trump is doing? For example, let's say that he got a particular anchor from MSNBC, like a junior anchor, and just made him a Secretary of Defense. Would you be happy with that? Or would you be saying like, what the fuck? Well, how that happen? Hey, this person doesn't have the understanding that and the qualifications to be holding this position. But you're okay with this choice? Are you okay with this and the other choices? Don't you actually realize that every choice that Trump is right now doing, he's playing chump for Putin. Anything that he's doing is not good for the USA, but it's definitely good for Russia. And I want to know, where the fuck is the White House on all this? Because I haven't actually heard anything of substance for a while, okay? I get the alerts whenever they're talking, and it's like a normal transition right now. But it's not really happening. And on that note, I also want to know, where the fuck is the Intel community? Where are the fucking safeguards? This shit should have been seen for fucking years. Yet we're going to have a director of intelligence or director of national intelligence to have all the fucking classified information in the fucking world, not just ours, but also the ones from our allies that share with us, who has been already said by the same intelligence community that she is a Russian asset. So is she a Russian asset? Okay, prove us wrong. But the other case, wouldn't there be any other fucking choice from all the millions and millions of people who fucking voted for MAGA? There's not another person in the intelligence community that probably is fucking more qualified? Or who has done intelligence for that matter, because it's not that everybody else just can start understanding to become an analyst overnight. Even to become a fucking junior analyst, you need to have a lot of fucking training. You have to break a lot of biases, and you're going to fucking get yelled at if you say, I think about something. But it's the type of job that you need to know what the fuck you're doing because of the impact that it has. Yet they're going to be putting this person who is an asset to Russia. What the fuck is going on? Do you realize you voted for that? So for anybody who doesn't understand Intel, okay, so in Intel, it goes from big, nice to know, good to know, and need to know, okay? So the boss is going to get from the little bit good to know to the need to know, so he doesn't sound like a fucking idiot when he's talking with other people. All right, and he's not then chasing a shiny object that doesn't belong to him in his lane, because there's a whole bunch of different agencies, and each one of those agencies, they have their own mission. But the problem is that if all those agencies are not talking to each other, all these junior analysts, they probably have very robust information, but it's just not making it up to the president because, okay, there's a lot of information, maybe they just don't want to hear it. So where's the fucking breakdown? That's where I would like to know. And you know, it's not even going to matter coming 2025 because Putin's going to be getting all that fucking information anyways, if he didn't already have it. Chances are that he has read already all the shit that was in Mar-a-Lago, in the fucking classified problems that Trump got himself into because he didn't return those classified documents, those highly classified documents, to the National Archives when he was supposed to be doing. So, yeah, chances are that they already have read all our fucking secrets and all the fucking secrets from our allies. Yeah, congratulations. That's what you voted for last time, and we fucking warned you. And that's what you voted again. Which means that anything that probably had been safeguarded in these last 4 years, they're probably going to get it anyways. Fucking congratulations. Yeah, you won. Yeah, you didn't win, you motherfucker. You sunk us all. So, one of my bosses used to say, the problem is that sometimes we become victims of our own grandiosity and we fail to realize the danger. That is when we're talking about American exceptionalism. Okay? A lot of people, they say, well, okay, America number one. And yes, it is number one, but why is it number one? It is because people who were in particular places where they had to make decisions were fully qualified to make those jobs or to execute whatever duties and responsibilities they had to do. And that included speaking truth to power. Now we don't have that. We don't have that anymore. So understand this. The USA is like a ship, and it got struck, and it's on fire, and it's sinking fast. So you can try to call your representatives to see if that makes a difference. If they're MAGA, yes, probably not going to make a difference, and even if they're the liberal side, I don't know if they'll ever fucking answer, but hopefully they do. I'm just kind of reading the room here on some of the statements, and I see that, it's not very promising. And they probably have also something to hide. Maybe they're under duress and realize the way that our system is set up is not necessarily the best way to elect a person, because a lot of them, they owe a lot of money to other people who paid for those ads to put them in power. So, yeah, if you didn't understand that, that's why a lot of people, they were saying, hey, there should be a resolution to get money out of politics, so then anybody else would be able to compete on the merits, not on whoever has more special interest to give the money. It doesn't matter if it was on the left or the right, but that's what we have now. So this information needs to be logged somewhere, because you need to understand that history is repeating itself. If you're familiar with World War II and see from the rise of Mussolini and fascism after the Bolshevik Revolution was the antithesis of that in the Soviet Union. Yet those authoritarian narratives and problems are being repeated almost as a script, and of course, there are a lot of people, they don't understand that shit, and they haven't paid attention to that, but it's happening. There's already a rubric. There's already a way to measure what we can see that happened before. The problem is that now there's nukes. The geopolitical situation is a lot more complex, and that is going to continue to get even worse, because now it's going to accelerate exponentially because of how technology and the communication media has expanded exponentially, and also because some of these other guys that they fucked up during World War II, now they probably are paying more attention than the people who are supposed to put some type of curtailing to prevent all this shit from happening again. So you need to get this recorded before it's too late. And that includes spam influencers, all the talking heads that you're listening to in the progressive side or in the other side or whichever it is, and ask them, why the fuck are they not asking the same questions that I'm asking you? For example, why is Trump only getting loyalists when there's millions of people who voted MAGA that are probably a lot more qualified? And he's only getting his small group of people who are known for kissing his ass. Why is that? Why doesn't he want somebody who's going to be challenging him and say, hey, boss, have you thought about this? Because, you don't really have all the answers, because nobody does. Nobody has all the answers in the world, period. Everybody has blind spots. That's why you get people who are not yes men and women to be in the same team, so they help you see what you cannot see. So that is as easy as I can fucking tell you. Now, get your head off your ass if you already voted for him, or even if you didn't vote for him and you just think that it's okay, it's just like any other election. Yeah, we still can be friends no matter how we actually voted. No, this is not the same time as other times, okay? In other times, you didn't have the problem that somebody was working for the fucking adversarial regime. In this case, yes, that is fucking really obvious unless you're fucking naive or you just want to keep your head in the ass because that's what makes you feel a lot better. But that is not the case. And it doesn't matter if you don't fucking believe it, because it's going to affect you anyway. So I am going to be calling you out. And if you were okay with Trump's mean tweets, then the nicknames, then you should be okay with me fucking telling in your face what you do to fuck it up. Because the difference is that I'm actually not going to gaslight you. I'm actually showing you what happened. And hopefully, if I'm telling you nicely, which I've been saying that for fucking a long time, didn't work, maybe this is going to get your attention. Even if somebody's trying to say, well, you're crying. No, I'm not crying, motherfucker. This is not crying. It's me fucking yelling at your dumbass. There's a fucking huge difference between those things. So, just for you to know, there's some idiots who paid like $18,000 to some fucking groups of alpha males to be yelled at and get into fucking tubs of water. And these guys are like CEOs and people that have money to give them a backbone. I'm doing this thing for free. I'm telling you what you fucked up and own up to your fucking mistakes. That is real courage. To understand where you fucked up. Doesn't matter if you're a MAGA, or if you're a non-MAGA, or that if you understand or didn't understand about this fucking election. It was told for a good reason that this was going to be the most important election of the fucking history of the planet. And you were asleep at the wheel. And you voted whatever the fuck you voted for without actually understanding. Even if you voted for Kamala, but you didn't fucking understand why, that is still a problem. Because this shit affects you. You have to warm up to this fact. If you don't understand what is going on, somebody else is paying attention for you. Willful ignorance is tacit consent for somebody else to fuck up with your life without you realizing it. And that is what is happening. Regardless of whether you voted for Kamala, or you voted for Trump, or you voted third party. You have to understand the consequences for what you're doing. And if somebody's telling you something, then maybe you want to fucking sit down and really be objective about what you're supposed to be looking at. Now, the thing is that as I'm wedging your fucking idiot head off your ass, so as I'm pulling it up from the ass that's been so wedged up inside your fucking train of thinking for years, it's going to be deep in there if you find all this to be new to you. It is going to be shocking the moment that you come out and realize all the things that you have missed. But this is the world around you. The fact that you are just reading something in a bumper sticker, just fucking read it in Twitter or you read it in your fucking social media platforms or whatever, and you don't understand it, that is bad. If you are a fucking functional adult who can vote or who's supposed to be voting, you have to understand what the fuck are you voting for. I'm not looking for monetization. I don't care about getting clicks or anything, okay? I told you a fucking million times from the very first episode. I'm doing this thing as a time capsule because somebody has to say this, and might as well be me. We're already out of time. We're already way past the point of subtlety, so if you don't like how I'm talking, well, fucking too bad. Chances are that you're not even listening to what I'm saying. But it has to be said. So at least it's going to be recorded. Maybe if nobody fucking listens in this generation, this time capsule is going to be seen by somebody else. And they're going to say, yeah, that guy, he was actually telling you to your fucking face what you needed to hear. And yeah, that is me. And I didn't want to do this, but fucking that's what I have to do. So fuck it. Authoritarians are only as strong as their followers. So the question is, are you a useful fool? Well, if you voted for Trump, I absolutely know if you are. Because he was telling you all kinds of things that resonated with you, even if you were a good person, even if you had good intentions. Yeah, fuck it. Do you know what I've been seeing through my social media the whole time? Yeah, people calling libtards, people calling all kinds of derogatory things to people who are not MAGA. And by the way, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I'm an independent. I don't give a shit if you lean to the right or to the left. I am going to be holding your ass accountable either way. Because I don't have a loyalty over a person. I love the United States of America as a country. And I'm telling you what a lot of people are not going to tell you. So what are you going to do about changing that? So if you found out that you were a useful fool, are you just going to remain a fool? Or maybe are you going to fucking start talking to the people who need to hear what your experience was? Hey, I thought I needed to vote for this guy, and I'm seeing these picks that he's making. It's really concerning. I voted for Trump, and I see now a lot of his acolytes are running around in Ohio with fucking neo-Nazi flags. Or I hear these motherfuckers that are actually saying to the ladies, your body, my choice, which is fucking insane to hear. So if you have people who are about to get in some sort of legal trouble because they don't like Trump, it doesn't matter if it is because they were loyal or not. You know, like blacks for Trump. Okay, how many black people have you seen in his picks? Goose eggs, 0. How many Latins have you seen? Okay, the only one, Marco Rubio. And Marco Rubio, he is a very fucking questionable person. Look at his record for the Latin community to tell me how fucking good is he for that. I've been talking about this thing for a very long time. This is nothing new. And I appreciate some people who actually been listening to this and they do the right thing and help me spread this message. Because I don't do these for the money. I never did. I wanted to spread the message. I wrote 2 books, Authoritarianism and Propaganda, The Puppet Master Tools. And Woke and Proud, The Charlatans Inconvenience. They are both non-fiction historical analysis of how propaganda has been moving around the world. And the fact is that some people don't even know what authoritarianism means, because it's a big word. Okay, so authoritarianism means how to be a dictator, how to be a totalitarian, how to be the person who is going to deny you any freedom of movement or even any freedom of thought. So I wrote those books in order to educate people. They're short reads, they're easy to understand, so you can see that there's a hidden world behind. I also show you actual examples of how some of the authoritarians in history galvanize that power. I do this for you. Authoritarianism, Propaganda, the Puppet Master Tools. Woke and Proud, The Charlatans in Community. That's 2 different books that are available anywhere where they have that. You go to my website, www.halflifecrisis.com. You're going to see that in the literature tab, and you're going to also see in all the articles that I've been talking about for fucking years about this. This is a telegraph realization that we're living, okay? It was already telegraphed for years that what we're experiencing now was going to happen, and it had happened. That's why I also created my other website, www.infoincontext.com, as a tool, a free educational tool to show you how authoritarians have been exploiting wedge issues and how they have been exploiting these red flags for years. So you can identify that. So you can have that epiphany yourself. I was giving this to the fucking White House. I gave it to the campaigns. I gave that to a whole bunch of influencers. Are they fucking looking at this shit? No, probably they're not. Okay. Fortunately, I have a few thousands of views on these resources. But for every 1,000 views that I have, there's millions of other views. Somebody who thinks that fucking world is flat or some other shit that is a wedge issue that is a non sequitur. I only ask for people to help me put the message that is going to help us out. I don't want anything in return. I want to make sure that people start understanding what they didn't understand. Because like it or not, it's going to affect them the same way. Not just to them, but to all of us. In my next topic, we're going to be talking about geopolitics for dummies. Because geopolitics is going to affect you even if you don't understand it. But somebody's paying attention, and I'm going to be telling you what you need to know and what you need to understand. For example, we're going to be seeing Trump probably kicking the people in Israel, even though a lot of people who voted against Kamala was because of the genocide going on in Palestine. Yeah, that is probably going to get a lot worse because they put somebody in charge that was another loyalist that is absolutely against whatever the Palestinians are trying to do. Not Hamas. Do not confuse Hamas with Palestine. They're 2 fucking different things, and a lot of people don't fucking understand that. And very likely we're going to be seeing that Trump is going to force the Ukraine to surrender. That is probably going to be happening very, very soon. So people don't understand what the impact is from that, but we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So like it or not, right now the USA is the number 1 nation, but that is likely going to change because America first could put us as America last in the world stage if we don't actually understand how a role from geopolitics is supposed to be played. When we are burning bridges with NATO and we're burning bridges with bilateral agreements and we are starting to cozy up to these adversarial nations, we are not going to be the premier nation. We're not going to be the grown-ups in the room. That is what happens. And that's what you voted for, dumbass. You don't like that? Well, I don't care. I'm going to be telling you, know what you want to hear by what you need to hear. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.